celebrating 20 years of possibility.
Hello, I'm Joshua Dobbs, and I believe that anything is possible.
Welcome to Anything is Possible. I'm Halloran Hilton Hill, and of course, these are great stories about great people whose lives prove that anything is possible, and I have been excited about this day. I've known of you for years, watched you, and now I get to sit down with you. My guest today is Josh Dobbs. Do you prefer Josh or Joshua?
Whichever is easiest. Josh is cool. Josh is cool.
Man, you are fascinating to me. And I want to start here. You don't need football. Why football? I understand that of recent, you have now joined the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
I was just talking to Mr. Jimmy Haslam this morning.
Okay.
And so they're excited about you becoming part of what they're building there, but why football?
I love it. I love it. You know,
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I grew up as an only child, and so for anyone who is an only child, you know, like the only way to get out of the house, get around your friends growing up is sports. So my parents introduced me to sports very quickly. Started playing baseball, ended up doing the Triple Crown, football, baseball, and basketball growing up. I began playing quarterback when I was 6, and now I'm going into, you know, you do the math, 22nd consecutive football season. And I couldn't imagine a fall without it. You know, I love everything about the game, the competitive spirit of the game, you know, playing the quarterback position, owning the huddle, looking around at you, looking in the eyes of other men at this point and directing everyone, and getting your team to rally behind you, all to defeat an enemy that's trying to stop you from achieving all your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations. It's a beautiful game, played it forever. Couldn't imagine not playing it, and that's where it starts, and that's where I get my passion from. Of course, I have other things that I've been interested in and other great passions as well off the field, but you know, I've always loved the game and being a part of it.
So you have this love of the game. Were you naturally athletic?
So that's an interesting question. You know, as I said, I'm an only child, and my parents didn't play sports competitively growing up. So everything I learned really was, you know, their first time going through it and my first time just learning how to become a better athlete. So I would say I get some athletic genes maybe from my mom's side. You know, my dad, I don't mean to, you know, throw him under the bus. It was funny, you know, you grow up, you play catch with your dad and everything. And so playing football on Saturdays, I was a little ahead of the curve. You know, we were throwing the ball around the field in the 5th grade. So to warm up, I would go in the backyard, throw with my dad. And by the time I got to the 7th grade, I would throw the ball, he would jam his fingers so constantly that it got to a point where he would either A, bat the ball down, or B,
because it was coming in so hot.
He would put his hands up, let the ball go over his head, run and get it, and repeat the process. So I like to say, you know, got a little genes from my parents, but you know, they also helped me, you know, just help create the environments to become the best athlete I could. You know, whether it was training growing up, opportunities, and just playing the game from a young age.
I don't know why I feel like I'm supposed to ask you this, but let's see. Do you play chess?
Yes, love chess.
So I just started playing chess about 1.5 years ago. And I'm trying to reconcile the rocket scientist and the quarterback. And I'm trying to figure out how you see the game. A rocket scientist, an engineer, right? Engineers love solving problems.
Correct.
The bigger, the better.
Exactly.
They get excited. So I'm wondering, as a chess player, is that the way you see and approach the game? You're playing chess with big pieces.
For sure. Actually, you know, you bring up chess. It's become a big part of like my mental training over the past couple years. I've gotten with my chess coach Seth, and we've gotten.
Whoa!
We got a whole coach. It's a serious deal.
Wait a minute.
I got a portable board. Take the board with me. We've infused.
You have a chess coach?
Chess coach, chess board, portable, poison pawns, and we get after it. And what I've learned is As you progress through the game of football, right, there's only so fast guys can be, and there's only so much scheme per se, like plays that can be run, right? But what goes into it really is like when you run a play, why you call a play, what personnel you're in. So there's so much to the mental side of the game as you progress through the ranks, and a little bit less to the physical side of the game because everyone is already physically gifted. So yeah, chess has become a huge part because, as you said, like an engineer, right? Engineer is the ultimate critical thinker. On campus here, from the time I stepped on campus, right, I had engineering professors that give you a problem, they give you the equations and the formulas to solve the problem, and then you solve it the most efficient way possible and repeat process. Until eventually you're solving problems that help people create a more efficient everyday life. As a quarterback, it's the exact same thing. You're on the field, defenses are giving you problems, giving you questions, giving you various defenses, schemes, structures, blitzes, tendencies, fronts. And as a quarterback, you have to recognize it all quickly in 40 seconds and get your offense in the right play to go out and attack the defense and then repeat it for the next play, ultimately trying to win the game. So it's the ultimate crossover between an engineering mind, a QB mind, and chess.
Look at the way you're
brings it
when
together.
I said chess, your face lit up.
Yeah, I love it. Because even so I wake up every morning, I got it on my phone, chess.com, get after it, trying to get my score up. So I'm in the thousands right now, so I think I'm pretty good, but I'm trying to improve.
Let's talk about your time here at the University of Tennessee. Why did you decide on Tennessee? What was that like?
Yeah, so my process, as I said, only child, right? So my parents never went through a recruiting process, nor did we know what we were getting ourselves into when we started the recruiting process. So throughout it, I had a lot of things I was considering. I was considering, one, which sport I was gonna play. I ultimately played football and baseball extremely competitively through high school. I wanted to go to a school where I could study aerospace engineering because that was an extreme passion of mine. I wanted a place that was, felt like family, and a place that at the end of the day, if I didn't play a sport there, I could still see myself going to school there. So my parents were big in the Ivies, so I visited Princeton. My dream school growing up was actually Stanford out on the West Coast, and visited there. I was committed to Arizona State for football for about 8 months. And Tennessee came late in my recruiting process. Coach Jones called me probably a month before signing day, answered the calls, talked with the coaches. Coach Bajakian would come to my high school once or twice a week leading up to signing day. So there was definitely a lot of interest from Tennessee, but I'd never been to Knoxville. So I didn't know much about it. And I was committed to another school. I was taking other visits. It was a very hectic time. And I was trying to be a high school senior, And so it was the week of my 18th birthday, which is the weekend of the 26th. I just finished baseball practice. I'm sitting in my room, supposed to take a Tennessee visit that weekend, and it's Friday, about 5 o'clock. My parents come, drag me out of the room, put me in the car, say, hey, Tennessee has showed me this much effort and interest, and it's your last official visit, so you'll be remiss not to make the most, and at least go see what the opportunity Tennessee holds. And I arrived on campus Friday, probably 8 p.m. And by the time we left Sunday, I was like, I'm definitely committing to the University of Tennessee. And there was just so much that the school has to offer. One, I had the opportunity to play early, but also play quarterback behind such great names. Obviously, we're seeing the room of one with Peyton, but T. Martin, Heath Schuler, a ton of guys that have come before you and been trailblazers. Condrich Holloway, who's in this building all the time. 2, I had a chance to study aerospace engineering and pursue my passions. And then 3, it felt like home, it felt like family. And from the day that I committed to be a volunteer to even now, 5 years, 6 years removed from my time here on campus, it still feels like family. And I really never looked back since that decision.
So let me ask you about the influence of your parents. Mm-hmm. You defer to them a lot, and you've shown them a lot of respect. Tell me about how they shaped your life and your appreciation for them.
For sure, they're my ultimate role models in that, they helped me find and discover my passions. And that's something I'm extremely passionate about pouring into youth. Isn't it? Because if you're gonna spend so much time in a specific discipline, you want it to be something that you thoroughly enjoy doing. And it can take a lot to figure out what you're good at, what you like. Even with this example, my parents were individuals that signed me up to do every possible thing you could do.
What did they do for a living?
So my mom, she worked at UPS and she's been retired medically, and my dad was a banker, a longtime banker at Wells Fargo. But they're both from small town Mississippi. Did a phenomenal job of making a name for themselves and their industries and really working their way up from the bottom to the top, and showed.
Mississippi folks are great people, by the way.
Right.
They're great people.
Yes. Have you heard of Vardaman, Mississippi?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But my brother-in-law is from Mount Bayou, Mississippi.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
So there's some small towns out there, but they truly embody what it means to work. Work for what you believe in, and work to achieve your goals and aspirations. And that's what my parents showed me. And they also, what I was saying was they signed me up for everything growing up, like band, chorus, chess club.
You play an instrument?
I played a saxophone growing up. Now I play the piano.
Okay.
And in the chorus, I figured out I'm a terrible singer, but I wouldn't have known, if I didn't have to do a couple solos in front of the school. But that's for another story for another time. But in that, in signing me up for those activities and pushing me to go in and get out of my comfort zone, right? I was able to see what I was good at, what I was interested in, and it really helped me, propel me along the path I've been since I was a child.
That's interesting that you would say, in pushing me out of my comfort zone, I got to see possibility, what could be. And I guess that's instructive for all of life. But the fact that they had the foresight and wisdom to expose you to a lot.
Correct.
And then when you centered down on something that was significant, to put logs and lighter fluid on that and let you shine.
Exactly.
So you're here at the University of Tennessee. You grew up in Georgia, correct? Alpharetta, Georgia. You come to the University of Tennessee. You have a great career here at Tennessee. And then you help me with my stats, I think it was 4th round pick 135.
To Pittsburgh Steelers.
To the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, sir.
What was that like?
It was, I would say it was a process. Because leading up to the draft and everything leading up to it from just the football side of it is one of the biggest job interviews of your life. Because it's everything you've dreamed of doing since you started playing the game of football. And to be going through that entire process while also I was finishing my last semester on campus to graduate in 4 years, it was a hectic 4 or 5 months, but it culminated with the draft. And so Coach T called me on Saturday, and just hearing your name called, saying, Joshua Dobbs drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's a dream come true, because it's all of your work, all of your aspirations, all of your dreams, all tied into one moment. But then, it's also the start of your next career, right? And you're back to the bottom. You're back to, now you're the rookie, you have to come in and prove yourself, come in and make a name for yourself, come in and work hard to establish yourself in the NFL, which is the ultimate competitors league. So it was a lot of emotions in that moment, but it really inspires you to continue along your journey.
So it's Pittsburgh, then Jacksonville.
And Jacksonville.
Back to Pittsburgh.
And now Cleveland.
Now Cleveland.
Yes.
What's the journey been like? And have you accomplished what you want to accomplish? I would imagine a person of your accomplishment, you want to start.
For sure. That's my ultimate goal. So to your question, no, I haven't. But that's what I'm working toward every single day. It's the ultimate league of opportunity and being ready when you're given that opportunity. And so as we were talking about earlier, a lot has to align for those opportunities to come. My story thus far in the NFL, I haven't been given that opportunity, but the opportunities I've had, I've been able to maximize my role, maximize my impact, and also, be a great teammate and be a great, I guess per se, coach from my perspective. So I think from learning all that I've learned, being in a different environment than I was, because being in the league has been the first time I haven't been the starting quarterback on a team since I was 6 years old.
How do you adapt to that?
Oh man,
does that mess with you?
Yeah, definitely. I tell people this, when you're not the starter, right? It's like you're an engineer, right? You're studying every week, and every week, you have a test on Friday. It's going to be on thermodynamics, comp flow, something difficult, right? So you have to study and prepare for that test every Friday. But the catch is, you don't know when you're going to take the test. The teacher doesn't know when you're going to take the test, but you're going to get a call on Thursday, the night before, and say, hey, you have to take the test tomorrow. Are you ready? And that's what it's like, because you constantly have to be ready, as I said, for that opportunity. So when you go in, you're able to execute and play at a high level to ultimately create the next opportunity for yourself. So
I think what I hear you saying is, you might be sleeping on me.
for sure.
But if there's even a little crack in the door,
we're gonna bust it open. Definitely, that's my mindset.
There's no doubt about that.
No doubt about that.
Possibility powered by Pilot Flying J, Covenant Health, Home Federal, and the Knoxville News Sentinel.
There's more to this conversation than we had time for in this episode, so you can see more on our social media platforms.
How do you preserve and expand that mindset? Where'd you get that energy to try hard when nobody's watching? Because I think that's where the magic is.
For sure. It started in college. I mean, you see what I was able to do on Saturday, and that really for every athlete. Everyone sees the final product on a Saturday, but they don't see everything that goes into it. You know, they don't see the throwing sessions every Sunday in the off season after I was in the library all day. They don't see Fridays coming in when people are doing other things on campus and we're in here with the receivers throwing routes. You know, they don't see the summer sessions at 6 a.m. waking up every single day preparing for the season. And they don't see the extra film that you're putting in after 6 hours of class, 6 hours in the complex, and then putting an extra couple hours in the film room to get ready for games. You know, that creating that work ethic, creating that process is what helps you in these moments stay focused, stay locked in, stay prepared for your opportunity.
And I really admire that. I admire people who have passion and love for what they do, but they're able to do it at a high level without pay, praise, or promotion as they're developing themselves.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You started a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your foundation.
So since I've left school, and even in school, you know, I've worked in the community and been a big advocate for pouring back into the youth. So I've worked with several organizations, Girls Inc., Emerald Youth, Children's Hospital. I've had my youth camps on a yearly basis. And you know, the goal of now establishing the foundation is to continue to pour into the youth. As I've shared, I've been blessed with a ton of tremendous opportunities and experiences that have helped get me to where I am today. But I'm also not naive that everyone's not blessed with those opportunities. And that's the goal of my foundation, to help the youth in the areas that have supported me, such as Knoxville, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and now Cleveland, to help them have those opportunities. You know, our goal is, for example, to take a group of kids from Girls Inc. or Emerald Youth down to NASA who want to be engineers but haven't been able to go and see what firsthand aerospace engineering is. Go down to NASA, meet some astronauts, see the rockets, see the VAB, see everything that NASA is about to help inspire them to continue to achieve their dreams.
What's the name of your foundation?
So it's the Extraordinary Dobbs Foundation. So a combination of astro and extraordinary. It was funny, my essay to get into Tennessee, right? One of the questions they asked was, what's your favorite word? And so my favorite word was extraordinary, because I just feel like, you know, to be extraordinary, right? It takes a lot of effort, a lot of purpose, into a lot of detail in everything that you're doing. And so that's our goal. We're inspiring the youth to be extraordinary in everything that they do. And so it's a great combination of astro and extraordinary.
You know, I love that.
Extraordinary, yes.
I love that. If people were watching and you were laying out the formula or recipe for possibility, what is it?
I think one, it starts with passion, right? You have to love what you're doing. You know, you asked why you do football. And you also asked why you keep, you know, going even though you haven't gotten all the success in the NFL. Because I love it. And I think, you know, it starts with that. You have to love what you're doing. And then second, it starts with preparation. You have to be prepared for the opportunities. You know, in the game of football, I draw a lot of analogies to the game of football because I really feel it's just like life. It's just life sped up in 60 minutes, right? You're only given so many opportunities to go out and show what you're able to do. But to be able to execute on those opportunities all comes from your preparation. And that's hours of countless work, sweat, blood, tears poured into your craft so you're able to execute when that opportunity comes. And then the third thing is just trusting in yourself. You know, when you're passionate about something and you've prepared at a high level, all you have to do is trust in your skills and abilities, whether it's in sports, whether it's in engineering, whether it's in just general life, whatever it may be, just go out and execute that opportunity.
I want to say, man, I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of the young man that you are and that you are becoming, the way that you're developing yourself. And I think, I think I was watching a video of you down at NASA doing an internship, right? And this thing of taking people and giving them an extraordinary experience, because when you can see something different, right?
You can believe it.
You can see the possibility. But I think in a very profound way, your life is going to be leveraged to help people build great lives on great foundations. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no luck. It's hard work and dedication and belief and passion. And so I want to commend you for that.
I appreciate
Josh,
that.
It's a pleasure speaking. I won't be messing with you on the chessboard.
I'll give you a year, maybe two. Yeah, we can
get myself together. But man, it's been fantastic talking to you, and thank you for being on Anything Is Possible.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.